I actually was born in Newcastle and then lived for a little while in Cessnock in the Hunter Valley, and then moved to Melbourne for a couple of years. My dad was in the motor business, and then we ended up in Cronulla. And I had a fabulous childhood there, very much around beach culture, surfing, swimming, fishing in the river, crabbing, all those fabulous summer sports. And I went to school at a school called Caringbah High, which is now a selective school. I like to joke with my children that that they selected anyone in those days, but it certainly was a great school. Studied at UTS, did a long course there, supposed to be 3 years, but ended up doing it part-time as my career interrupted, and ended up finishing after 7 or 8 years doing a Bachelor of Business. But it was a great part of my life growing up in Cronulla and the schooling and education I had. Boost Media is a really unique business. I got involved a couple of years ago. My partner, George Bushman, founded the business 7 or 8 years ago. Funnily enough, we worked together 20 odd years ago at 2SM. It's about revenue generation on a massive scale. So we work with big companies in big markets, clients, customers, people like Channel 10 in Australia, Media Prima in Malaysia, the Chicago Tribune, the Dallas Morning News, CBS Radio, big companies in big markets, and generate huge volumes of incremental revenue from SMBs, small, medium businesses. We have a very sophisticated structure, very sophisticated process, and we develop these programs that build incremental revenue platforms that are sustainable for these big media organisations long term. We've recently developed a new strategic plan for the business for the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, we want to grow the business to 10 million plus EBITDA. The business has been largely driven by a group of fairly talented executives that have been flying all over the world, which is not sustainable as we grow the business long term. So the plan is to set up hubs, which we're doing right now, in various parts of the world, and Malaysia, Singapore, Middle East, Australia, of course, and then the US. Our plan is to expand the business through those hubs in those key geographic locations, primarily US, Canada, Latin America, Europe, Asia, Australia, and of course the Middle East. My business tips for people starting out in a small business, having started a few myself, are to have a very clear, concise vision for your business. You've got to work bloody hard. There's no shortcuts. So there's a bit of hardship. You go through some hard times and tough times. You need to be resilient, but you've got to work very, very hard in the early years throughout your small business career. And the final thing is back yourself. Believe in yourself. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen if you believe in yourself and you back your ability to succeed. Boost has been terrific for me the last couple of years. Having worked in media for many, many years, having departed from my media roots for 20 odd years and worked in below the line and media businesses, coming back to Boost was almost re-energized me. It was a phenomenal change for me to come back into Boost. It was like getting back to my grassroots. I'm a sales guy at heart. That's what I do. I'm a salesman. And coming back to Boost gave me an opportunity to use all the skills I developed over the years in an older, wiser way, and in a forum that gave me an opportunity to travel the globe, talk to big media companies, and make a real impact. And as a partner in the business as well, it's fantastic to be able to work hard on this global stage, but also start to see the results from this hard work. And as I said, all the things I'd done over the years seemed to all meet in the middle for me. It was almost like the perfect combination of attributes all came together, and I can use them all in the Boost world. So it's perfect for me. And it's a fabulous business. It's very important to give back to business and to people and to charities through business. I think that, whilst the last couple of years have been very busy for me, we've always been involved with charities, as much as we can. Always support charities, always get involved with them on whether it's a board position or just as a patron. But also giving back to business people in general, young kids who need mentoring, guiding. Small business people who are just starting out often need advice on how did you do it? What opportunity? How do I do it? What are the tips for me? So giving back in business is tremendously important, and it's not always about the money. It's about what you do as an individual to help business people, businesses, and charities, I think, going forward.